Do you want to be more energetic, to do the hard work, to feel sharp and to not crash every afternoon? In this video I will tell you about the 7 pillars of high energy that will help you to do that. I made many videos about having more energy by now and I talked about different aspects. Why? Because I wanted to be more energetic too. Pretty much as energetic as possible, because it leads to a better and healthier life, as well as to more fulfillment and happiness. So I learned a lot about how to be more energetic. And what I found is that there seem to be 7 essential pillars that really do 80% of the job. Just nail those 7 things and you will be way more energetic than 90% of other people. But we'll go through this step by step, because that makes sure you actually change your energy. So are you ready to finally change your life and to start being energetic again? Then let's get into this. So the first step to cure your constant tiredness is going to be about self-assessment. I'll explain this to you and how to actually do it, as well as what it really means for you. Then we'll go through the 7 pillars of high energy, and at the end there are 2 more additional steps. But like I said, let's start with step number 1, what I will call the self-assessment. As we go through these 7 pillars of high energy in the next couple minutes, I want you to grab pen and paper, and if you're really serious about this, to write down for each of those 7 pillars, for each category, how many points you would give yourself on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 being the best, of course. And this will help you to self-analyze, to make you look at your life, look at your habits, your lifestyle, and realize where you might lack some points. So, is your diet shit? Do you never move your body? Do you have shitty mental health? Those sorts of things. And then, like I said, you give yourself points on each of those categories. And then, of course, after watching this video, after realizing where you're already doing good, but also where you're doing bad, you focus, of course, on improving the bad things. Because I'm pretty confident that if you score a 6, maybe a 7 out of 10 on each of those pillars, you should feel quite energetic. Like, honestly, I don't see a way that you feel tired when you have 7 out of 10 points on each of those categories. There is one way, but it's so unlikely, I don't think that's your problem. But just to make sure, I'll address that at the end again. So with that out of the way, let's move to the first pillar of high energy. The first pillar might probably be the most important one. Having a good score on this, although it will be very important, won't mean you will definitely have high energy, but having a low score on this is really detrimental. Because just let me ask you this, how do you feel energy-wise after you just got 0 sleep for a whole night?
It's not looking good, bruv.
Like, how do you feel? Pretty energetic or pretty tired? I think the answer is very obvious. And while this is an extreme example, it should show you the importance of good sleep. I know it's not very unique. You probably know that sleep is very important, so I'm not gonna waste your time. For sleep, I personally follow 3 rules, and I think you should too. Quantity, get enough sleep. This might vary from person to person, but usually it's recommended to sleep 7 to 8 hours per night at least, and a little bit more in winter. Second rule is quality. So how well do you sleep? Do you wake up all the time during the middle of the night? Do you go to the toilet 3 times per night? And generally, what's the quality of your sleep? There is technology available nowadays that could measure this, but I think you kinda can estimate the quality of your sleep. Like if you sleep for the whole night, you don't wake up once, that's a pretty good sign for good quality sleep. And rule number 3 is to follow a routine. So you should sleep at around the same times most of the time. And if you follow all those 3 rules, your sleep is gonna be pretty good. And that in turn will make you feel way more energetic too. So how do you score? What does your sleep look like? Do you think you could improve? Or is it already pretty good? Let's move on to the next one. The second pillar of high energy is also extremely important. You probably heard of this saying, you are what you eat. And yes, there is some truth to that. If your diet sucks, if you eat way too much processed foods, too much sugar, you don't get any good nutrients in your body, of course you won't be energetic. Of course your body won't tell you, all right, I'm feeling good, let's do this. Because your body needs the right basics. And those basics are for one, sleep, we just talked about, but also diet, what you eat. And if you ever tried different diets, you know it really has an impact on your energy, your mood, your health, so many things. So I could now tell you about what foods I think are good, what foods are bad, what diet I would prefer, when to eat, how much to eat. But really I think it all boils down to this. Low amounts of junk food, low amounts of processed food, low amounts of sugar. With that I mean added sugar. Personally I think fruit is healthy, so reduce the added sugar. And of course, just not eating too much. If you're overweight because you eat too much, you also won't be energetic. So again, rank yourself. How do you score? Is your diet already pretty good? Or do you eat a lot of trash? If so, improve. If your diet is already pretty good, maybe you're constantly tired because of the next pillar. Pillar number 3 is also extremely important for high energy. Especially nowadays with the lifestyle the average person lives, moving your body and exercising becomes more and more important. We are just not meant to just sit at our desk all day long and do nothing else, or lie in bed or whatever. But you have to move your body. At least go for walks regularly, go hiking or whatever, or also exercise, play a sports game, do anything that moves your body and trains your muscles. You really don't have to overdo it, but the problem is many people don't exercise at all. But countless studies have shown exercise is essential for good health, good mental health too, and high energy. Yes, it's gonna take some of your energy at first, but it will give you more energy long term. It's like you reduce your energy a bit, but therefore the size of your battery with energy expands. So exercising is just essential for good energy. Do it at least 2 times a week. It doesn't have to be crazy, just 30 to 60 minutes of whatever sport you like. Or even better, do it 3 to 4 times a week. If you can, do more, but at least just twice a week. Do some form of exercise for a couple minutes. Pillar number 4 of high energy is also incredibly important, but also something many people underestimate and often is completely ignored in energy advice on the internet. But I can also tell you that this is like a deal breaker. If you score low on this, all the other things won't matter. If your mental health is bad, all the good physical habits like sleep, diet, whatever, will not make you energetic as fuck. Maybe they help a little bit, but maybe you know this from experience too, that having bad mental health is really one of the worst things for energy. Just look at depressed people. Every depressed person also feels tired. Or let's say most of them. I guess there are always exceptions to the rule. But even if you're not depressed, just having bad mental health, feeling sad, feeling bad, it really isn't good for your energy. I think if this is bad, it really drags down all the other factors the most. Maybe with sleep, because sleep is just so essential, but really don't ignore this. Now for this video I'm not going to tell you how to fix your mental health, because that's a whole topic for itself. And it's also very complex, it's gonna take some time and everything. But if you look at yourself and you score yourself like a 4 or below, you really need to work on that. But I will tell you that if you focus on all the other things on this list, it's also extremely likely that your mental health will improve, but maybe you want to give it a bit more attention too. Pillar number 5 is such a normal and natural thing that it's also crazy how we actively have to pay attention to this just to feel healthy and energetic. And I get it. I struggle with this sometimes too, because I perfectly know how easy it is to just be in your room pretty much all day long, because you can work from home, you can socialize from home, you can entertain yourself from home. It's really easy nowadays to not leave your house. But with pillar number 5, which I call sunlight and nature, you really have another important thing to pay attention to. Getting sunlight on your skin and also getting into nature, at least once in a while, is so important for your health. You need to leave your house every single day. It makes you move your body, but it also just makes you go outside. When it comes to sunlight, Just 10 minutes of actual sunlight can be enough for vitamin D and for your circadian rhythm. So it doesn't even need that much attention, but just going for a walk, leaving your house every single day is so important. Personally, I try to be outside, like not in a car, not in a bus, whatever, properly outside every single day for at least 15 to 30 minutes. And sometimes maybe go for a weekend trip, maybe a day trip of hiking, whatever, just to get yourself out into nature, to get yourself into the environment your body likes to be in. Now we have 2 more pillars on this list, but I think they're also very important. And that first one we're gonna talk about now is all about what we as humans all need, but also seem to more and more forget or ignore or move to the side, especially with the coming up of the internet, but it is so important. You may think you don't like it or you don't need it, and it may vary how much you need it, but it's just in our nature to do this. What I'm talking about is socializing. Yes, it is necessary, and yes, it's important enough to be one of these 7 pillars. Loneliness is really unhealthy. When I moved to a new city during COVID, I knew nobody in that city. Literally nobody, and I had nobody to meet up with. I had my friends back home that I could talk to. I had my family back home, of course, and that was really important. But even just living in that new city, not having anybody there, really showed me how important it is to have some amount of a social life. It's very tough to say how much you should socialize because, like I said, it's very individual, but I can tell you what works for me. Seeing my friends once or twice a month. For some, it might really not be a lot. For a few, it might actually be a lot. So again, depends on you. But I think once or twice a month, probably twice a month is better. To see your friends is the least you should probably do. And then also I try to socialize in other ways. I'm really not someone to talk to strangers. I don't have a problem with it, but I don't approach strangers or talk to them in line, or at least very rarely. I'm not antisocial, but I'm not that extroverted guy who talks to everyone. But what I mean with socializing in other ways is either to go to work where you have people around you that you have to talk to, like not working from home alone. Then also for me, just going to the gym where other people are around me. And sometimes maybe I talk to someone, or even just asking how many sets this one person has left. That's another part of socializing. Of course, seeing your family regularly. And there are probably a few other things as well. Sorry to break it to you, but you're not a lone wolf. So again, rank yourself 1 to 10. How good do you think your social life is? Maybe that's something you should work on. And the last pillar, pillar number 7, is also super important. It gets your energy to the next level. Because I think with those first 6 pillars we already talked about, you covered the basics quite well. But there's always this question from your brain, from one part of your brain to the other part. Why would I be energetic? Like, why would you even spend energy? Who knows when we're gonna eat next? Maybe it's better to save energy. But then this last pillar comes in. Purpose and goals are extremely important for motivation and energy. It gives your mind or your brain a reason to be energetic. It's literally why we do anything. Everything you do has a reason. And that reason might be very simple, like just surviving. Why do you eat? To survive. Okay, it's very simple. But you probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And once you fulfill the basics, once you cover like sleep, food, shelter, stuff like that, what gets you to that next level is a vision, goals, purpose, something that leads to fulfillment, something that makes you feel useful, important, helpful, whatever may work for you. But you really need goals, and better yet, a purpose, a life's purpose to really level up your energy. Purpose gives you almost endless energy, even when you feel tired. Even when you eat like shit, even when you don't exercise. If you have a strong purpose and you really want to do it, you really feel it, like you feel connected to it, then you will bring up the energy to go after it. Now, if you ignore all the other things for too long, it might end up in a burnout, but purpose and goals are really important. If you look at the most energetic, the most busy people that still stay on top of their game, they all have a very strong purpose. So maybe that's actually why you feel tired so much. You have no idea what to do with your life. You have no goals, and especially no purpose. So if you score bad on this pillar, maybe that's something to focus on. So now we went through all the pillars, and there are 3 steps left. The first step that's left is, of course, to act on your self-assessment. Hopefully, you just went through all these 7 pillars of high energy and you analyzed your own life. Where do you lack points? Where are you already doing good? Where could you improve? What aspect maybe is really bad? And then, of course, next is to act on this knowledge. I have multiple videos on different topics on my channel, so maybe you can find some guidance there. But generally, if you want to improve your sleep, for example, and you don't know how, do a bit more research, and then, of course, again, act on it. Same for mental health, for purpose, all the pillars we just talked about. So then you improve on those things. And then try to get to at least a 6 out of 10 for each of those categories, which might take a little bit of time. Of course, it depends where you start, it depends what you know, and it depends on how much effort you put into this. But if you're a 6 out of 10 for each of those categories, just wait 2 weeks, maybe up to 4 weeks, and you should really feel a difference. You should really feel more energetic. And if you don't, there is something else I will tell you. Then we move on to step number 9. And this is a step you might enjoy a bit more. It is simply about enjoying the results. Like I said, give it 2 weeks, maybe a month, and you should really feel some significant shifts. And if you don't, there are probably 2 approaches I would recommend you to do next. One of those is to just score higher. Like if you think you're a 6, maybe you're not really a 6. So maybe try to get to a 7 on all of those categories. Try to get to an 8 on all of those categories. And if you're like crazy, try to go 9 or 10 in each of those categories. And then you just have to feel energetic. Like there are other aspects too, and one of them I will talk about in a second, but it really is like 80% of what makes you energetic. So maybe do that next, improve your score in each of those categories, and or alternatively, pay attention to the 8th pillar. Although this is kind of unofficial, I don't know if I should add this. But pillar number 8 is also very important, and it can be why you are still tired, not energetic. I'm gonna make it quick, but it's about reducing stress. If you are very stressed, if everything is overwhelming you, it's very easy to feel tired. And trust me, I know from my own experience as well. So if you do all the other things, but somehow you're still not feeling energetic, go to stress. Focus on stress management, try to reduce your stress in some way. And if you also do that, if you then still not feel energetic, you're a really tough one. But maybe then we get to step number 10, the last step in this video. And that for me is to go deeper, learn more and do other things as well. While those 7 or 8 pillars might be the basics of high energy and extremely important, it might not be everything you need. Maybe there's just some tiny thing that is really dragging your energy down. So then for this last step, if you're still not feeling energetic, which is very unlikely, but if it's true, you need to go deeper. You need to change your lifestyle and find that thing. Tackle it. Now, how to do that is the purpose of this channel. I'm making almost daily videos about how to be more energetic. So if you really value being energetic, then maybe you should subscribe to this channel. But of course, that's gonna be up to you. For now, that's all I wanted to say. Tomorrow, I will upload a video with 12 habits to be more energetic. So maybe that could be your next step, but I get it. That's up to you. That's all for today. I hope you liked it. I hope it was valuable. So for now, have a great day, stay excellent, and